Hello, welcome back to Heretic Owl Tarot. My name is Liz, and I will be guiding you on this journey today. This is a reading for the 1-4 Human Design Profile, or the Investigator Opportunist. If you don't know what your Human Design Profile is, there's a link in the description below for you to get your Human Design Body Graph. And one of the bits of information specific to your design will be your profile. Now, these messages aren't necessarily meant to be educational, so I try my best to keep human design language to a minimum, if at all, because really it's just meant to be an additional avenue for guidance or for messages to come through, because not every 1-4 is a Taurus or a Capricorn or whatever, right? So highly recommend that you check out your zodiac sign readings. Those are up. But let's get your cards shuffled, and then of course we'll get your spread out. If you haven't done so already, I would absolutely love it if you subscribe to the channel. Last time I looked a couple days ago, I was like one person away from 1,000, and it just feels like such a milestone to me. So I would love it if you would help with that. What else? That judgment card has shown up so often. We don't take the jumpers with this spread. It is a 3-card spread. The first card is your current energy, or what's currently surrounding you. The second is the energy that's leaving or that is no longer serving you. And the third is the energy that is available to you or will be available to you. And then we will clarify each one of those cards with an additional card. So let me just shuffle a few times, and then we'll get your spread out. Okay, that feels good. All right, current energy. We have the 2 of Swords. What's leaving is the 7 of Swords. Hell yeah. What is coming in? The Moon. Anytime the Moon is at the end of the reading, it's kind of like, it is none of your business. What's coming in? Focus on what's in front of you. To clarify the 2 of Swords, we have the High Priestess. So we have 2 2s here. To clarify the 7 of Swords, we have the 4 of Swords. Look at all this air energy. Love to see it. And then to clarify the Moon card, we have the 10 of Cups. Water and air. That's all that we have. So it's like getting your head and your emotional body right. Like mind, body, spirit also too. Also, both of these, the High Priestess and the Moon card, are obviously ruled by the Moon. Did we just have I think we just had a new moon that I like totally missed. I think it was in Sagittarius last week. Today is December 7th. Totally missed it. Like, I saw something on TikTok and I was like, oh shit. I'm usually like pretty on top of that because I'm a Cancer rising. So anytime like I feel funky or like my mood is weird, I'm like, okay, what is the Moon doing right now? And sure as shit, it's usually new. But this one actually kind of left me alone a little bit. So I'm definitely not complaining. Anyway, also to another just kind of quick observation is look at all this blue on here. Blue is throat chakra. So, I mean, regardless if you have a defined throat chakra or not, anytime there's a lot of blue on here that does have to do with communication or even expressing yourself, kind of what are you speaking into existence or not? Because that's usually the problem, is that we're not saying what is like on our heart or our mind technically to say. And so we start with the 2 of Swords. The 2 of Swords talks about indecision. I'm actually curious what this book says about, because this deck has like stalemate, uncertainty, considering options. Yeah. Time to take a break to consider my options and think about things. There is no need to rush forward. The perfect answer for the highest good will come to me if I take my time and remain in a peaceful state. And I shit you not, yeah, the high priestess says some things are not meant to be known intellectually, but are meant to be experienced through intuition. This card reminds me to trust that I have access to higher wisdom and knowing when I tune in and trust my vibes. This is a time when mysteries will be revealed and I can grow as a result. Which this whole reading is like, I kind of just want to see with the moon. I may not see the workings of spirit in the invisible realms, but I know there is great activity behind the scenes. It's important to trust the mystery and remember that the material realm is an illusion. Current conditions are not necessarily a reflection of the truth of what's going on in the present. Great opportunities lie in the shadows. Yeah, like this whole reading feels like an opportunity to get your mind right. You know, it's like the way that you're like perceiving things. And I'm saying this because there is so much air energy and even the cards that came out. So, okay, the Two of Swords, again, right? Uncertainty, indecision, kind of just not knowing which direction you want to go in, maybe not having the clarity, right? The High Priestess, which again, right? 2 2s. So you might be seeing 2 2 or 2 2 2s around. You might start to see that and it would be confirmation. But the High Priestess is that direct connection to our star player. For me, it's my higher self. It's me. If you believe in spirit, God, divine, it would be that source. If you don't believe in any of those things, then it would be your own intuition because we all have it, right? So it really is tuning into, and sometimes when we ignore it, which we have been conditioned to do, that's when we start like spinning our wheels. Like in the Matrix, the White Rabbit says, choice is an illusion. You already know what you want to do. That's this combo here. I mean, it could be strategy and authority because your strategy and authority is literally designed to help you enter into the correct quote unquote experiences for you. So it could even just be honoring that process. Again, right? Swords have to do with our mindset. It's our belief systems, truth and honesty, but like divine truth, divine honesty. How are we communicating those things too with all of the blue in here, right? It's also intellect, logic. So, that first line, investigator. I also see swords as being the suit of ego because that's generally where we hear our egos in our minds. And our ego is created by the stories and the habits that we attach to experiences, to feelings, to traumas, right? And it becomes the filter that stimuli, we consume content, we consume our reality. It goes through the filters of our ego, and then it kicks out a story. And that's what becomes our perception of our reality, the way that we feel about our lives, the way that we feel about ourselves, the way, right? It becomes the reasons why we do things and why we don't do things. And truly it is. Like I heard this the other day, that our ego is literally like a habit that we just, it's like a belief that we turned it, or a habit that we turned into a belief, I think is like how they put it. Because there was something, there was a story, there was something that we kept kind of attaching ourselves to, like making it part of our personality, making it part of our identity. And then that just became a habit. It became our homeostasis, right? So what's leaving, I love this, is the Seven of Swords and the Four of Swords. This to me feels like not resting in that story anymore. Like, stop fooling yourself. Because the Seven of Swords is the card, for me, of us fooling ourselves. It's self-sabotage. It's, again, right, it's those stories that we attached ourselves to that we don't deserve. We can't commit. We can't whatever, right? We can't show up. We can't whatever. Because the Seven of Swords is like trickery, manipulation, betrayal. Like usually or traditionally, there's a soldier that's like tiptoeing out of the enemy camp with 7 swords, and what they're like handicapping their enemy because they're down 7 swords, and the person stealing them, their team or whatever, is up 7 swords. So for me though, like I feel like that's when we do that to ourselves. I mean, of course that this could involve other people. Absolutely, it could involve other people. But it's like, stop selling yourself short. You know? Like, figure out what it is, like that gremlin, as Brene Brown calls it. Like, figure out what that is. Like, figure out what that story is. And also, like, follow the trail back to its root. Like, where did that even come from? Like, where did that belief, that habit, that whatever, like, where did the self-sabotage, where did it come from? And can you sit in the discomfort of it? Because that's how we change. We have to sit in the discomfort of change and transition in order to, like, change a habit, in order to, right, like, recreate, like, our personality. Like, we can reinvent ourselves literally every day if we want to. The Four of Swords is rest. It's giving yourself a break. There's not a ton of action in the Four of Swords. I'm actually curious what the book says about the Four of Swords. Healing, meditation, rest, recuperation. Yeah, I mean, you could have already been doing this too. Like, and with this being in the position of what is leaving, it says that like you are at a point now to be able to move out of this, because self-healing is great, right? Like, unpacking all of our baggage is so good. It's like the best thing that we could ever do for ourselves, right? It's also probably the hardest thing that we could do for ourselves. But also, there comes a point where it's like, okay, I've done all of this, like, self-healing. I've done all this. I'm aware of all of these things. Now I need to start, kind of tweaking things. Like, now I need to start, like, perceiving my reality different and start creating those different habits, recreating or reinventing my homeostasis. And I mean, it's like literally baby steps. The holistic psychiatrist used to talk a lot about it. I mean, she might still, but she was saying how a lot of the problems that we run into when we are healing ourselves, and then we try to, like, start sprinting first, that, like we kind of, we run out of steam really fast, and we end up kind of right back at the start. And she was saying, she's like, you have to start so small, like, literally making the smallest promises to yourself and honoring those promises, right? Like, consistently, which honestly sounds like easier said than done. I can't even tell you how many times I've made, like, what I thought were the smallest of promises and didn't stick to them. And I'm like, what the fuck? Like, what is wrong? And, and it just, again, it goes right back to what is wrong with me, right? So what's interesting over here, we have the Moon and the Ten of Cups. So to me, this actually really feels like discovering, uncovering joy within yourself. The Ten of Cups is community too. So, you have that fourth line. It could be finding support within your community, sharing your beliefs, your thoughts, like, kind of even sharing what you're going through. Not that you have to do that with community, but you know, like if you have friends that you can share that with. Again, right, the moon, illusions, mystery, the 10 of cups is like joy, it's bliss, you know, everybody feeling purposeful. It's also a completion. So it's like a happy ending type of thing. I mean, we have this Buddha here, right? Which abundance, prosperity. And it's almost kind of like this is what is available to you. Like this is like literally right on the other side of your perception. And it's a matter of like tweaking what you believe to be true. Like instead of finding evidence to support your current belief system, it's finding evidence to support a different belief system. I mean, just try it, right? Like see how it goes. Even Brene Brown, again, right? Because I'm just gonna quote Brene Brown all the time. Actually, she changed my effing life when I first started my own healing. What was it? The Power of Vulnerability? Is that like the first? I think that was the first thing that I listened to, and I was like, bro, I can't what? And truly, it changed my life. But one of the quotes, I have it actually hanging on my wall, and I'm not going to be able to repeat it, but it basically says like, whatever you believe, you will find evidence to support that belief. So if you feel like you do not belong, you will find evidence to support that you do not belong. That's just an example. So whatever it is, right? It's like, again, changing the perception, tweaking that belief system. It's like, you know, the mantra of like everything is working out for me. Whatever happens is for my highest good. I am completely supported and loved. I love that. And I love this. Thank you so much for allowing me to read your cards. I will talk to you soon. Bye.